Hello, this is DrCecily, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For a while I had to take a break because it was just like too much, just the negative news about killing our unarmed black men and just the coronavirus, being quarantined. I just had to shut down for a minute. But I wanted to make this video because I wanted to give you, I have two videos, two segments I'm doing. I'm doing DrCecily, Fulfilling Your Destiny, and I'm also doing the Atlanta child murders investigation that's been reopened by our Atlanta Mayor, Keisha Lance Bottom. But at this point, I had to take some downtime for myself because the negativity and the just being closed in just cause you to reflect, and just you have to turn down sometimes. So I had a relative, well, a friend of mine. She was diagnosed with COVID-19, but thank God that she's tested positive. Now I have a loved one who she's a senior citizen, and she's also a family member, a close family member. She doesn't have COVID-19, but she's in the hospital and has to go into rehab. So that's where I'm right now. So I just asked our YouTube family and friends and favs, I call them fams and favs, to please just keep me in prayer as I do you. Now, I wanted to make this video about the state of America because I was been thinking about what does it feel like to be black in America. Now, when I was growing up, I used to ask God, why did he make me black? Because I couldn't understand why my skin was so hated just for skin color. But as I begin to reflect on about what does it mean to be black in America, I just wanted to hit on some few things. As a Christian, a black woman in America. When I looked over the events from slavery to sharecropping to now even the penal system, have worked in the penal system myself as a sergeant and an officer in the jail. And I just want to recap too about this defunding the police. When we speak of defunding the police, please guys, do your research. They're not talking about, if you really look into it, it's not saying getting rid of the police, because we have to recognize that the police is, what do they have? They have handcuffs. They have all kind of automatic weapons. They have show of force. They have a mace. They have this going on, batons. So what you really do have is if you get a few bad apples, but we know that this is not a few bad apples. We know, even as a child, a black person in America, we know that it's called systematic racism. And for somebody to see it, don't see it now. And like Will Smith said, it's the mobile phone right here, this mobile computer that you carry in your hand, that has exposed the root of America. And what's so sad is that not only from slavery to sharecropping to the penal system, like Oprah Winfrey did that segment, and it's called From Slavery to Prisons. Really, America, and I'm talking about the white America status quo, they have kept this in place from slavery to sharecropping to the penal system. I'm so glad that Florida stopped. I just heard on Trevor Noah that Florida stopped this law of stopping males in Florida and give them tickets for having their pants down. Because you have to realize that this is a systematic racist system that we live in. We live in that. And if I could put it in one word, I was reflecting on just looking at going into my history, because I couldn't even stand to see roots. I wanted to kill me a white person, so I just stopped. Just the fact that you get your feet cut off, and that we've been criminalized from the time we left, a lot was just lies. When I began to look at the towns that were in Atlanta, all black owned, the towns that were all over the country that we don't even know about, that they were destroyed, self-sustained black towns. Every time we rise, I see what Angelo Mayo said. We rise. I understand now, because every time we had a black town, every time we rose, it was always the law enforcement. It was always the vigilantes. It was all those of hate groups that came in together. Tell me why. The only reason why George Floyd is the poster of, see, to me, he's the poster child of what's been going on all through the years. Black men getting stopped. I mean, the Department of Justice did a study on the Baltimore killings of unarmed black men. And they did the other Department of Justice findings, and they found that black men are more likely, or 3 times more likely, to be stopped for their counterparts than their white counterparts, and arrested and detained. And then think about, I just want to shout out to Jay-Z. He has a wonderful program, because when you see all these black males for the last 5 or 10 years that's being released with no circumstantial evidence, it is clear to me. And I got to think about, what does it mean to be black in America? And I got to look through my life as I seen that I was dealing with a system that was against me from the get. But the point is, black in America means to me to be able to navigate a black America. If they're still living, they're being able to navigate black America. It's like going through daily landmines. You got to avoid black on black crime. You got to avoid any confrontations with white people. You got to avoid any confrontation with your own people. Because you know, if you call the police, you're likely to be shot or detained. So with that being said, I just got to thinking, okay, Lord, what are you really doing? God is exposing things. Like I said, George Floyd, remember, it like Will Smith said, it's always been happening. It's just that George Floyd was to me the poster board of this injustice, racist, unequal system that wants to keep putting their feet on the black man. And you have laws in place. You have to get rid of that immunity law, that immunity that protects the police officers. See, the reason why they can just openly say, oh, they got a gun, because this has been their tactic. Look back from Detroit at the Elders Motel, where they killed those 3 black men. They were white juries. It was the prosecutor. It was the detectives making erroneous statements. They were paying off even the informants and paying off the witnesses to say that this person committed the crime when they didn't have no evidence. So what I'm saying to you is that to be black in America is like walking through daily landmines. And like I said, George Floyd is the poster board. Why? Of black brutality. Why? Because of this computer that we hold in our hands, our mobile phones. What it basically did was showed, after they did all the research, they found out that after they did all the camera, got all the videos, they found out it wasn't 8 minutes and some seconds. It was a total of 9 minutes. Now those 9 minutes were what? It was significant because it pointed out to this man's life being taken, George Floyd's life leaving his body, and it was done worldwide, and it was done live. So we seen it wasn't like a Malice Green or other places where we seen, people getting shot, black unarmed men running away, like Blake, oh my God, when I seen that picture, when I seen Blake in that spit hood, and I seen him in that handcuffs. Now he was naked because he had sense enough to come out naked, so they can't say that they had a gun, like they did with the 2 black, was it Maisha, Messiah, and Tanisha, I think. There were 2 black Atlanta HBUC college students who were on live TV, were stopped, and you could see the terror. See, this is what the white status quo want us to do. And I'm talking about the people of hate. Because see, I used to be a law enforcement, so our officers, so I can't hate everybody because it's a few people. But the laws are made to suppress and oppress and kill our black people without no accountability. So tell me, why is it taking so long for Breonna Taylor? They finally made a settlement on that no-knock warrant when they went and killed this young black woman as she slept in her bed. Now, you wonder why the gun sales are going up. I wonder why. But you can clearly see that there are, like with George Floyd, it was a live death, and you could see killing. It was a murder, a live murder on TV. It was no ID. It was no after the fact video. This happened live, and that's what made George Floyd's killing so profound, because you had the whole world looking at it. It just spread like wildfire, so we could see Derrick Chavin. He represents the system of hate and the system of, and we don't mean defund the police department totally, but him keeping his knee on his neck. You might as well have the Statue of Liberty in New York with your flame up, calling for the oppressed, calling for all the different diversities, all the different races. Call them, go come to me, the poor, the oppressed. But yet you just make the Statue of Liberty with her foot on the black man's neck, because that's where it is. Now, God said, you shall not fight in this battle. And what that means is, I was just wondering how powerful the millenniums are standing up. When you look at the peaceful protests, they're mostly white young people. The two white people, I want to digress from George Floyd, because I'm getting back to that. Two white young ladies, I'm going to get their names, from Kennesaw. They graduated from Kennesaw High School this year. And what they did was they organized a march, a peaceful march against black brutality and the murdering of black unarmed black men and women. And then the false arrest of children, black children. And then just the walking and talking. We are always being harassed for walking and talking. And just think, for all the white people that say, oh, we didn't know this is going on. No, it's no excuse now. We got George Floyd on live TV with Derrick Chavin, ex-officer Derrick Chavin, with his knee on his neck, killing him, taking the life out the man while he calls on his mama. And then, if you would look, there was another police officer sitting on his back. So here's this man on his face, George Floyd, on his face, with two officers constricting his airway and taking the life out of him. And then on top of that, you could see a drizzle of a wetness coming through under that car. And you know that man urinated. George Floyd urinated as he was dying, and the breath was leaving out of his body. And then there was also a person who came over civilian. I think she was a female. I would like to interview her, because she said stop. She was coming forward, and then the other officer stood and blocked her from going towards Derrick Chavin as he was taking the life away from George Floyd. And you can't tell me those two officers, the one, George Chavin, that was on George Floyd's neck, and then the other one that was on his back, you can tell me that they felt his life leave his body. Now, the difference is, God said, you shall not fight in this battle. But I don't know about y'all. Being a black person, it looks like the Bible's coming alive again. Because God said, let my people go, you racist 2-3%. You people who are controlling the politics. The politics was just devised. Just think about it. There should have never been no Democrats in the Republics. That was devised for division. It was all a smoke screen, because guess what? Where's we the people? No, when we say defund the police, we're not talking about taking the funds from the police. We just say take them and allocate them to other places. Now, you see these people raping their kids, throwing their kids off the balcony. Some of that is mental illness, which America has not addressed either. And even as a law enforcement officer, a lot of times as I was a law enforcement officer, I had to sit in the hospital with, or either transport them through the jail with people who had mental illness and had committed a crime. We need to defund the police, to take all this power that's unchecked. We're not saying get rid of the police. We said that the current pattern, the current policies, the current systems in the parole department, in the probation department, in the jails is made to make money off of black people. That's why it's called a system to pay to play. If you can pay, then you can play. That's why I'm doing a series on the Atlanta child murders. And one of the mothers, if you look at that series, the voices of the mothers, one of the mothers said the police officer came to him and said, there's somebody so powerful and they're so up in power and got so much money it would never go to court. And the mother said with her own mouth, it never went to court. And so now we see these white women coming forth who have paid their children to get in Yale, right? And all these prestigious schools. What is God doing? He's exposing this. You cannot continue to profit off of my black people and put your feet on us. That's why the criminal system needs to be changed. They need to get rid of the immunity laws. They feel so assured because they look at Eldridge Motel. When I was in Detroit, I remember those 3 black men got shot, just got killed for nothing. And then the National Guards and the people were left because they didn't want to get involved. It's enough turning heads. We need to make people accountable for killing our black people, killing and making money off of us. And this system, this criminal system is unjust. It's unjust. It's unfair. You can see it with the Karens. How did that go so long? How is a white woman able to call on somebody that's bird walking or sitting in Starbucks, or any white person stop and detain somebody in their own front yard like they did the 2 black lawyers? How is that possible? No, even the United Nations. See, God said we should not fight in this fight. This is not our fight, because you see, most of the protesters are white. They're millennials. They tired of this mess. They want to live. They want to enjoy their life. And all this oppression, all these lies, like you tell the Statue of Liberty, oh, just come the oppressed, come all the poor and oppressed, and you let everybody come in, even when you had a shortage of the nursing. And I'm talking to those who are prejudiced, who are racist. Because remember, I was a law enforcement officer. Everybody's not like that. And in fact, during these times, I've been speaking to white professional men in different backgrounds, in terms of maybe I'm in the marketplace looking for something, or trying to get a quote, or doing some business. And I could see the concern in their voices. They're like, you stay safe now. So you tell me what is ruling, what is reigning. It's the evil of Satan that has reigned through this slavery. And we're still enslaved when you keep denying us freedom to walk and talk and sit and drink a coffee. Come on, America. Even United Nations, you're moving too slow. Even the United Nations said that they are looking at the American brutality and injustice. And it's a human rights issue. And you saying you've opened the doors to people from all races, from all nationalities. And I've had some people from India, as poor as India is, come over and look down at me. And of other nationality. But see, the problem is that we're browning America. You have browned America. You have taken away our nail shops, gave them to the Asians, took away our tire shops, given to other nationalities. And then basically what you have done is you have browned America by trying to keep your foot on us. So other people are able, that's not even American, is able to come in. Look at Vinny Chopper. I have to mention him because I know him. He's from California. He does real estate. And he came in here with $6 and he's a millionaire now. And so, but the thing is, why aren't we millionaires? It's because you keep putting a foot on us. If we look at all the towns. Atlanta was basically an all black town, self-sufficient, with banks, funeral homes, schools, anything you can name that we deal with now. It was all owned by black people. Look at the town that was burnt up. 33 blacks and children just killed and murdered. Why? Because of a lie. See, America needs to stop, because now you've been exposed. George Floyd is the poster picture for what you've always been doing, killing unarmed black people, raping us, making money out of us, stopping us and locking us up. We proportionally pay. Why is it people that can't? And then there's 15 states, including Georgia, who started it. 15 states, if you don't pay your traffic ticket, I don't know if they do that now, but I know Michigan is one of the 15 states when I last checked. Why is it that if you can't pay a traffic ticket, your car break down, you don't have no job, then why are you going to a probation officer? I asked this lady when I came down here, well, what crime did you commit? She said, well, no, my car broke down. I got a ticket, I couldn't pay, so they signed me to a probation officer. And then she has additional fines. So I'm gonna talk a segment on that called pay to play. And so, but you don't see white people in long lines like that. And why should you get double? Why should there be monies made off of these municipalities who get federal government monies, and then they turn their probational segment over to private companies who probably are ran by racist people or racist people in there? And then let me tell you another thing about these police officers. It's not only because they're full of hate. Some of them, not all of them. I'm not talking about all of them. If it's you, fit the shoe. But apparently, if the UN, United Nations, is saying that there's a problem, with injustice and the human rights of black people, if United Nations is declaring that there's a human rights problem, if all over the United States and all over the world is protesting for the black people's rights in America, what does that say about America? No, the roots of it is crumbling. It's crumbling. The George Floyd case, the Breonna case, even this recent one, Blake. When I looked at him, the moment I seen him with that spit guard on, that spit guard hood, and him handcuffed and naked. Yes, he did come out naked. He came out naked because he didn't want to be shot or blamed that he had a gun, which they always do. The MO's all the same. They had a gun. Now, what about the guy that he got shot in the back? Oh, what about him? The guy that got shot in the back, I think that was Blake, got shot in the back. But wait a minute, but you let the young man walk down the middle of the street on camera, shooting peaceful protesters. And you got a AKA or something, automatic rifle, and then you get arrested at your home, and then contrast that with Blake and the one that you shot in the black that's paralyzed, and then with the guy that was on the ground with the spit hood. That remind me of the Klan. So really, these laws are to do the same thing. I'm just saying the funding of the police, they need to go to the mental health sector. We need more places for people with mental illness. That's why you see all these. It's not that crime is just rising. It's the coronavirus is dealing with it. It's the people quarantined not really getting any help. No services for mental illness. No, some of those fundings to make our police officers more powerful. No, we got to have gun rights. And then look at what they did in Michigan. Michigan, those gun right people, white people went up there in Michigan through the Capitol. Didn't nobody say nothing. But soon as the black people came with their guns at Stone Mountain in Georgia, oh, it's a game. Oh, it's a conspiracy. Oh, they're out to. No, we out to protect our rights. Really, America, you need to wake up, and you need to wake up fast, because see, your roost are come home to a hatch. Okay, the system is rotting. It's rotten from the core. You have put this system to make money. This prison system is not, and just think about the white collar crime. Just think about it. I'm just going to challenge y'all. Think about the white collar crime. Why is it even called white collar crime? Why do y'all even get a privilege to have a crime called after yourself? Where the person that can be president of Wells Fargo, a bank, or a company, or stock trading company, or whatever, inside stock trading, whatever, retirement, and then you go steal billions of dollars from the people, even veterans. When this pregnant woman went to get her car was repossessed while her husband was fighting a war. Wells Fargo did this, but I guarantee you that Wells Fargo was a president. He was white. Okay, so why you privileged to have a white collar crime? I'm just challenging the status quo, because being black in America, like I said, it's like daily walking through landmines. Hoping nobody don't try to stop you. Hoping you don't get no altercation with a road wage. Hoping, praying, being wise, avoiding craziness. And like my grandfather said, if it looked crazy, avoid it. And that's what I've been doing all my life. And I just wanted to make that analysis of being black in America is like walking through daily landmines. Because we know our daily trip to the store, our daily trip through the parks, our daily trips to Starbucks, our daily trips in front of our homes, our daily trips at being barbecuing is not the same as whites. with any time, any altercation with police officer can result in being locked up, being detained, being falsely accused, being even death. That is our reality. Now, getting back to this, why do we have white collar crime? White collar crime for what? White collar crime is to protect what? The white status quo, because they can go and steal billions of dollars, and still, why do they still then they get to go to federal and have federal prisons? But guess what? The citizens don't never get any of that money. If you get any of that money, you may get $5. I remember time my insurance company was not giving me my yearly interest rates on my annuities rolled over, so they got sued. But guess how much we got? I think $13. But who gets the monies? The lawyers. And then these white collar crime criminals get to still retire and keep their retirement benefits. I want to know why. So, with that being said, yes, America got a lot of soul searching to do. America got a lot of catching up to do. Even though America don't want to change, honey, change is here. And you created it. And technology, like Will Smith, he said it's been happening. It's just that technology brought it out. So just thinking how God blessed me so to navigate this system and have a happy life, be able to travel, be able to try to accomplish my dreams, get my doctorate degree, go on trips, just think about businesses. When people's lives, people are getting out of prison now through the Jay-Z Foundation, where we're finding people have been there with no evidence or false evidence, or the evidence wasn't admissible. So they're just locked up and in the system over and over again, getting their appeals rejected. Because why? Because they're black in America. So this is just a wake-up call. That's just been on my mind. And I'm just praying that black people begin to treat each other with kindness. All this black on black crime to stop. All this to recognize that we've been oppressed. If anybody should have PSTD, it should be black people. We've had generations of it. And then where we go? Where do we go? Oh, we go to Jesus for ours. But y'all can go and get yours and have money and talk to people. We have to go to God. And we have to go to our family and our support. But enough is enough, America. No, no more will you step on us. No more will you be making money off of us. The time is here. And God has ordained this for such a time as this. And I'm only expressing my feelings as a black woman and as a black American. That yes, I've never, and I think the most insult of black people for the fact that way you treat us. Because remember, I can remember going in, still going, sometimes when you experience racism, you'll never forget it. It's like a bully. Bully always looking down on you, trying to intimidate you, put you in fear. You have ruled us, you 3%, you racist system. The system is racist. The system is rigged, okay? You can't tell me you got all this, you take the municipality money from the government and then you give it to these private jails and prisons and probation officers that are not companies that are not regulated by government, and so they get to do what they want to do. They're not held to accountability. But everybody needs to be held to accountability when somebody's life, somebody's innocent life, and you say you're American of the free. America has never been great and will not be great until you take your foot off of our black people's neck and let us thrive. And this, you might as well just take if you're gonna leave Statue of Liberty up, America, just put the in fact, you can put George Floyd's picture under there. And put the foot of the Statue of Liberty on George Floyd's neck, because that's what you have done with this criminal penal system. Has been another form of slavery. So God bless, stay encouraged, and know God is doing this. He's exposing this, and everybody is going to be held accountable. God bless you, and be safe.